Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna. And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast, where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for.
And we're doing Andor again. We're back. And if you watched last week, Sissy got a seat. She got a special little cardboard lounger seat that we've been holding on for a little bit to give her. Because they can't always have cardboard because they don't know how to act with it. And she got it back. And so now she has something to scratch on besides her ottoman. Yes. I mean, she's sitting with us now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sissy.
I have my boy to the right of me. I've got a little trooper pooper.
What I was going to say was before Sissy started scratching. Last week I said, I'm not sure if I'm feeling Andor. And can I be honest? This actually made me, I don't know, this episode, I didn't like it. Not that I didn't like it, but...
Yeah, but I feel like I actually figured out what was going on.
Oh, wait till I share my notes.
and we all know I was confused, so...
Okay, well, the show... it did a little bit with Karn, it did a little bit with the ISB, did a little bit with Mon Mothma, and then obviously with Andor. So I'm gonna think we should...
My problem is
This is so rude to us. Oh, she's gone. All right.
My problem is I just don't know a lot of people's names because they...
Yeah. Oh, and he's gone too.
Yeah, this is not going to end well. Because they don't really say it as we had established. Do you think it's time for a snack? Not for us, for them. Snack? Snack, yes? And you'll behave?
Sure. We'll be right back after this snack break. Okay, so snack has been given, and before they interrupted, I was going to say I think we're going to talk about each, plot line individually, instead of being plot A, plot B, plot C, and D, because there is, I'd say, 4 plot lines significantly going on this episode. So, this is just the order I put them in. So, I say we start with Karn. Oh, the episode, it's called The Axe Forgets. Yeah. Which was part of a quote from the episode.
But the tree remembers.
Yeah. So a little bit like the She-Hulk episodes, how we were saying that She-Hulk's like a quote, but this is like half a quote. Like, they didn't finish the whole quote. You know what I'm trying to...
Yeah. No, I'm with her.
All right. So, for Karn, we see him now with his mom.
Karn is the inspector, no?
Yeah, he's the guy who got fired. Well, she was calling him Cyril. But I just remember when I looked up his name originally, I saw Karn, so that's what I've just been calling him.
That was his last name, probably.
Oh, probably. That's
maybe
because that's
Cyril Karn.
Cyril Karn.
That's something to be dealing with.
Yeah, and she's worried about his job. She tells him that she's gonna call his uncle Harlow to help him figure out what he should do.
Which is interesting. Who is this uncle Harlow?
Yeah, that's true. Who is
she was making it sound like she was calling in the family favor. Don't we all have those?
Yeah. And then the mom shares that she talked with the uncle, and that the uncle has thought that he was never meant for police work, and that he'll think about what job would be good for him. And the mom kind of...
Which is weird, because that was my first thought, was, maybe the uncle was in some kind of police work of sorts or something.
I was going to get him in, a different field.
Yeah, and then he doesn't have a field, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's like, let me see what I think he could do. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, what do you do that you're that generalized that, you know?
And then we also see then at the end of the thing for Karn, we see these are literally the 3 scenes that we talked about. They're all separated. He looks at a hologram of Andor, so in our mind, because the mom's telling him to be like, what's your prospect? So I guess his prospect's going to be getting Andor, obviously. So he realizes that should be his goal, is to capture Andor. I don't know. This felt like...
I think he's just obsessed with it at this point, because now he knows this guy got away. This guy got him fired. So,
and now he got to go back home and have his mom yell.
At this point, it has a lot to do, I think, just with revenge and stuff against his own personal stuff. But they were just very odd. The mother was even last week, the mother was happy to see him, but then she slapped him. Yeah. Or she slapped him and then she was happy to see him. One or the other one first. And even here, she mocks him, and then she belittles him and he mocks her or something. It's weird.
Also, all they do is apparently eat cereal. Like I like
Well,
listen,
either that's all they do, or he was eating the cereal all day long. I
like
guess.
she called the uncle came back and he's eating this soggy cereal, which obviously
could've
blue
been.
milk is such a big thing in Star Wars.
But he could have still been eating
he was
that
eating
cereal.
definitely like
'Cause
Trix.
he didn't look like he got up.
No, he was on the other side of the table now. I think maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they just flipped the camera angle.
Yeah, they looked like Tricks with the swirly ones.
Yeah. Like that commercial, I remember,
Yeah.
like he would have them combined or something. So if you wanna have your own Star Wars cereal, definitely if Tan will just pick out the blue Tricks and put a little blue food dye in your milk, and you're good to go.
But why
Listen
would you
to
want
him
to?
throwing around his tricks over
I
that
know.
coop. Oh my goodness. Then with the ISB, which I told you that I was breaking my notes, and I said I wrote them down as IBS, which was wrong.
Which would have been funnier because everybody knows IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome. So
Yeah.
the fact that they would have named this large
Imperial Security Borough is what
after
this
that
is.
would have been funnier.
They could have been the Imperial Borough of Security.
Security,
Yeah, I just dropped that middle O.
Something.
So I just called it this overall because we see Deborah and then we have Belvin, and like they each have their
It
own.
was Deidre.
Deidre.
Oh,
What did I
okay.
just call her?
Deborah.
Oh, because I always think of how to spell her name. It's Deborah, but the B's backwards. So Deidre and her assistant decide that they're going to stay up all night and go through these files about the missing star paths because they think it's a little too random to be random, which she's definitely, obviously, we know she's onto something.
Yeah, I think she's actually, I put down in my notes that she seems to be starting to figure out that there might be a rebel attack in the works.
Yeah.
But she just can't figure out where or when, because she says to him, this is how I would do it. I would make it this random so that it's like a little here, a little there, and nobody's really noticing.
No one's thinking about it too much.
Yeah. And that's what they are doing. So
Yeah, because
she's definitely onto them, but I don't think she knows who they are or where they are or what they're going to hit. But she knows it's something.
Yeah, because she came up with the whole bit too random thing because her boss told her, yeah, I can't like look into this because it is too random. And that's why she's like, that's why I think it is.
I think she has a thing with that Tigo, the one that's setting up the headquarters.
Oh, okay. I called him Belvin. So yeah, yes. Which that was the other part that I was gonna say, that Belvin plans to set up headquarters on Ferrix.
I think she knows that he's focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And I think he definitely is. I think he's focused on the wrong thing too, and he should be listening to her because I think she is like. I thought she was gonna be something underhanded, but I think she's just gonna be the one that figures this out.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be from like the
and nobody's
perspective
gonna
of like
listen to her.
Like I think they're trying to show like a story of like somebody who is part of the Imperial and sees something going down, but none of these other people are listening because they're too focused on other things.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what her storyline's here to be. All right, and then Mon Mothra, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get the point of her story this week. Like obviously, like the other two people felt like setups, like for like obviously Karn's not gonna go look for Andor, and the other people is showing what's gonna, going on behind the scenes with the rebels. Mon Mothra, like this episode, you see her having struggles to connect with her family.
Yeah, I think they're showing the separation that's going on with her. I think they're setting her up for. I think she's gonna get killed for sure.
She can't get killed.
Why?
We just talked about Mon Mothra last week, and we know that she lives on all the way, so she can't get killed.
Is she a rebel?
Yes, remember?
Oh, she was the one that was the leader.
Yeah.
Well, not
Maybe
so much,
her family member gets killed.
No, not so much that she gets killed, but like I think I think somebody, whether it's the husband, I don't think the daughter, but I think the husband is figuring out something's going on. I think he's catching wind of it, but he doesn't also have any proof. And I think the daughter just thinks that she doesn't care about her because she is probably too preoccupied with this rebel stuff. And I think.
Well, yeah, because the daughter says
she thinks it's political that she's doing this to
take her to school,
like,
to like keep up a good appearance with the.
And I think the mother is trying to do that to keep a good appearance,
so
nobody notices what she's doing.
Yeah.
But this girl thinks that she's doing it just to be like the next governor for the next however many times they're allowed to be governor or whatever.
Senate.
Or Senate. I think she's. I don't know why I wrote she was a governor. I thought she was.
No, she's the Senate.
What is he? The husband.
I don't think he's anything. I think he's just the husband. And then the other scene, 'cause there was one you just talked about, which was basically about her daughter saying she didn't have to go to early morning classes today so that dad could take her, and then that's where she brings up the whole thing about the mom's trying to be for her parents, was the husband in the car, and he mentions that Gar Tafid knows more about her than he knows about him, and they also talk about this new foundation. Now, I looked up Gar Tafid. There's nothing about this guy. This is the first time he's ever been mentioned as far as I could find. So I don't really know what that was. I'm sure that would probably play a part. But, like, I didn't really know what the part of the car thing was. Like, I didn't know what that scene really was for. You know?
I think it's just to show them showing appearances again. Like, that they're putting up appearances so that... And that I think he's mentioning, like, that he knows she has a foundation. And foundation is probably not legit. It's probably where she's hiding money.
Well, because he also...
He might be trying to see what he can get out of her, and then he'll maybe spring things on her or something.
Now, I didn't understand what he meant at first, but in the breakfast episode, he says that he knows her driver's name. Or something. He referenced her driver's name, and she's like, oh, you know my driver's name. And then when they're in the car, he says, what's his name? And I was like, oh, maybe he thinks she's cheating on him or something. Mm-hmm. And then she says, I think Chris or something. And she goes, and then that's what he says. Oh, Chris, can you take the expressway? So proving that maybe like he didn't know this driver's name. I don't know what that was for. It felt like
they keep changing her driver.
Well, yeah,
because they don't trust her or whatever. But not they don't trust her. They're
so fresh. With this, now we'll do Andor, our A storyline. So Skeen. He goes through Andor's stuff and finds this corporate gun, and Andor recognizes that these tattoos that he has a crate head and then by the hand. And there's also a third tattoo, which they didn't mention. I think it was on his ribs. I didn't really get a good look at it, but they didn't really talk about that too much. But Andor knew what they were. He seemed like he knew what they meant. We don't really know what they mean. I kind of tried to look them up. I think it was for
they kind of said it was about the army.
Yeah, or prison.
He mentioned
prison.
He mentioned that prison and stuff like that. But I think he I think that was like to show that like he knew what Andor had in his bag, and basically Andor knew what he had in his bag, kind of, meaning like the tattoos.
Yeah.
Like they each knew like where the other one was from, and they knew like what they were dealing with. But
yeah. And then how do you say his name? Nemik.
Yeah.
Tells Andor about how they all rely too much on the Imperial tech.
Very philosophical.
And that it makes
them man is.
That makes them oppressed, which it is interesting because, like, when you do think about it, like, yeah, like they all are like, you know, even though they want to take the Imperial down, they're still very much having to use their things to take them down. Because even when you think about it,
it would be smart to not use their weapons.
Yeah.
Because then you're just using their weapons against them, and they know how they work. So if you came with something that they're not familiar with, you know.
Yeah, because when you think about it, how they're going to take them down right now is, Sissy's going, we also bust out. No, tunnel them. Yeah, she went in there the other day. Yeah,
she's in the tunnel of love.
How they were going to take them down technically coming out of this dam is going to be using one of their own ships. Like, they're escaping through one of the Imperial ships. So, they literally are, no matter what situation, even if they try, they're relying on Imperial things to take down the Imperial, when you think about it. And then Vel reveals that they have no clue how they're going to get the ship out of the dam.
They definitely had a lot of holes in their plan.
They were not as ready as they acted.
I mean, they come off like they're ready because you see them with this model, like the small scale model, but then when they go outside, you see that other guy, Taryn, talking and like showing, like breaking down this other model that they kind of made out of the pen with the animals so that you can kind of see what's what and stuff. But yet, like when they're talking with her and Gorn or something, like they're like,
no,
that was Gorn, wasn't it?
No,
that was the lieutenant.
No, he wasn't there. He was checking the base. I don't know what the other guy's name was. I can't remember what his name was. It wasn't Gorn, because Gorn was at the base. He was setting up all the checks with everybody.
No, but this was before that. Before he got back to the base. I thought that was him that was talking with Val and him asking about the weight.
No, that's the other guy.
Taryn.
I don't know their names.
Well, that's his name.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was him.
Which I was the one that didn't know the names. Why do I know them and you don't now?
Because you wrote down the names last week. I didn't write them down this week.
Yeah, but that don't mean I remember who's who.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anybody.
Anyway, but one of them said that they didn't know the weight, and how would they figure out the weight? And he's realizing that these guys are not as put together, and that he should be more concerned than they should of him. And it does seem like it.
Yeah, and he says that he requests that he has to fly it out now.
Yeah, because he seems like they're driving into like.
Because even when you think about it too, they end up practicing like walking as the Imperial Guards and everything. Like, why are you just practicing that now? I mean, like we can assume that.
But he noticed that the one gentleman was left-handed, and that he should switch with Taryn. Skeen should switch with Taryn because he's left-handed, and you want to have your gun on the outside. So, I mean, there's a lot of little. They're not really tight on their plan. I don't think. Like, which means this is going to go bad, of course. Yeah,
I mean, to some extent, definitely. And then they end up taking they start moving towards the dam where they're supposed to do the thing. And on the way there, Skeen ends up taking the kyber crystal off Andor.
Yeah, he attacks him and stuff, and I'm like, what is he doing? I thought he was just testing him if someone came up behind him, what would you do? But then no, he
cut the necklace off of him. And questions him about this. And Andor does come forward and say that he's being paid to basically help them out of this whole thing. So does that mean he's getting paid on top of whatever money they get out of there? Or how does this...
I don't know. I think he's just thinking he's getting his money.
Oh, okay. And once they get up to the...
I guess either way to him, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, pretty much. Once he gets up, they set up this little camp and they signal Gorn. And Val ends... Sorry, I keep wanting to call her Val, but Val leaves and says that Andor is going to be left in charge. And I just threw this in with
Tamron is.
Tamron? I thought she told Tamron that Andor is in charge.
No, she told Andor that Tamron's in charge. And she said, I need to know that you understand that and that you will follow the plan and you will listen to him.
I'm not going to lie. I was really struggling to follow this episode. I'm so serious. And I took that in my notes.
I'm usually asleep.
I wasn't asleep. I was very much conscious. I don't know. I was struggling to follow with this episode. I don't think it should have been that hard.
And I think Val and Cinda are a couple.
Yeah, I saw some people online already. I looked when I was...
Really? I just suspected as such because when Tamron, the tall gentleman, said to her, the one she's leaving in church, when he said to her, he... bypassed Val when they found out Val knew that he was being paid. That she said my only options were either I take him or it gets called off, and he went. Well,
clearly it still sounds like they should call it off. Yeah, because they don't sound prepared.
He bypassed her and said Cinta, and she's like, she didn't tell me. And so it was just weird.
Well,
it was more than a friend sharing.
Well, also somebody pointed out to the part where Skeen said that Cinta was taken. Yeah, already has some sharing a bed with somebody. Yeah, that's the part that I saw people speculating online with was that they were probably a couple. I took a little bit of side notes in my opinion because I wrote. Sometimes I was just like, what are they talking about? Mon Mothma and the kid. And I was like, what is this even for? And then, at the part where I had to take a minute and be like, what the hell is Belvin talking about with the headquarters? Even there was, some things that was going on with Andor that I don't know. I was just really struggling to follow. I don't know if my head's just not in the game and I gotta pull a Troy Bolton and get my head in the game or what. But I don't know. I was struggling. And I also feel like the show would honestly be better dropped in full, like a Netflix show does, kind of drop it in full, because I feel like they're putting all their pieces down, and then you're just gonna have to remember them for them to eventually pay off. I don't know. I feel
I think what they're trying to do, I think this is just my speculation, and I had no guess before this. I think they're trying to, because if you watched Rogue One, they were very put together. They knew what they were doing. They had a lot of contact with.
I don't know. My head's not a game.
Who were the ones? Remember when they were on the island going to see the girl's dad, and she climbed up to the thing? Who were the ones that were already on their way in the fighters to help them?
The people in the X-Wings?
Yeah.
Those were rebels coming to help them.
Yeah, but where did they get those rebels in all those... I thought they were some, not that they were soldiers.
I have no clue.
No, not that they were soldiers or something, but the fact that they had all of them deployed and stuff like that, and they couldn't get to them. I just felt like in Rogue One, you saw that they were
put together and well formed.
They were established. Now, if they tried to perform something like this, they would probably be
successful. I think this is trying to show like what it took to get there.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to show, is that they were just like a band of like 6 people, and now with that Mon Moth or whatever her name is, Mon
Mothra.
Yeah, like with her now in charge, and Luthen in charge, like, and Saw and all like that. Like they basically pulled together like an unbeatable rebel team. Like, where now.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like.
I'm just so thrown out of it this episode. I really was, and like to the point where I'm like last week I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling about the show, and this week it was just, I don't know. I could not get my head.
Well, like
into
this week
episode.
too, they kind of told you what like they broke it down like a couple of. Oh,
he's sighing because somebody banged something on the wall, and I'm scared. I'm awake.
No, they were kind of telling a couple of each one of them like what their reasons were for being there, because Andor is just so like, he needs to know why everybody is doing this, like what is their main reason for doing this. And like they were kind of saying a little bit, like the young kid was saying like his reasonings with like the politics and freedom and all that, like, and then after Skeen attacked him, like he came over and told them that like my brother was like, he lost everything because of the Imperial, and he put rocks in his pocket and drowned himself, and basically like, so that's his reason for revenge.
Well, I don't remember that. I remember he mentioned his brother, but I don't remember him saying he put rocks in his pocket.
Yeah, he killed himself. He said he put rocks in his pocket and killed himself.
See, I told you my head was not in the game. I honestly feel like I need to rewatch the episode.
Val told about Gorn that his reasons
for
being
the what? Yeah,
there
okay, I heard that. The girl, the local girl. Yeah, I do remember that.
So
part.
They gave like a little backstory to like a few of them, like to say why they're there. They didn't really say anything about that Cinta girl, why she's there. They just said she was the toughest or whatever, but so maybe they're next week or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this week, my issue was I kind of thought they were going to try to not do the heist, but for the most part do the heist, but I guess
you should have known that was not happening, because look how long they dragged this out.
I know. That's my other thing too. I just feel like maybe they're dragging like, things out.
And that's the thing. It's like I think such separate stories. Like in the first couple episodes, it was all about him and a child and his mother and all like that. Now that seems like a lifetime ago. Like sometimes I have to refresh myself going, wait, was that Rogue One or was that this? Because I'm like a little...
Well, yeah, because like in the first...
Sorry.
It's okay. In the first 3 episodes, we took this time to get introduced to Bix's boyfriend, Marva, and Brazos, and all those people. And now it's just like they're gone.
They're like, hello, where'd you go?
Like the only constant out of those...
But that's like the book you're reading where somebody was on page 1 and 2 and they were dead by 3.
Well, yeah, that chapter was like introducing them and then they killed them. And then chapter 2, they introduced another person.
You would have thought they were going to like go all the way through, but no.
You were like, oh yeah, you're getting...
No, they're dead.
I don't know. It's so weird. Like Luthen's the only one that's really been brought from obviously besides Andor, but like he's been the only one that's been brought.
Yeah, but he wasn't even from the beginning.
No, but he was in the first 3 episodes. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying from the beginning. I'm saying somebody who appeared in that first, because I'm counting episodes 1 through 3 as like episode 1. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. So I only came up with 2 questions because, like I said, my head was not in the game. Now, one was, what do these tattoos mean, the crate head and the other one? So I kind of looked it up here because the one, obviously, that was on his chest, which I believe was the crate head, is a barcode. And people were saying that it obviously, like we were saying, refers probably to his time in prison. And someone said that the crate dragons are native to Tatooine. So he probably either served his time there, or I was thinking maybe that was more in reference to maybe he's from Tatooine. Like maybe you got that crate dragon if you're either from there in a prison, like to ID where you're from, or
maybe he knew what's his face?
Who?
Darth Vader when he was Anakin.
Why would he be in prison?
Who?
When was Anakin ever in prison?
No, I'm not saying that he was in prison.
Oh, and
maybe he lived there and he was in prison there because he lived there, and maybe as kids they knew each other or something.
Oh wait, I don't know if the ages. Well, I don't know if the ages would line up.
He doesn't look that old.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so either he could have been there, or people. I saw the thing I saw that where I was like, oh, maybe it's more identifying where you're from, as in like in the prison. Maybe. Like obviously, like Andor would get like a Kanara kind of barcode or something, or people were saying that would be the place of the prison, like they identified it with.
I think it's more of a prison because that seems like what a prison would do.
Yeah. Well, no, obviously from the prison, but if you were like the prison barcode, like you got the crate dragon because you were from Tatooine. Like, do you know what I mean? Like each planet had their own like based on, instead of being like this is the barcode like a crate. Yeah. And then the other one, which I thought was kind of weird, when he took the kyber crystal from Andor, he referred to it as a sky kyber.
Yeah.
Which is weird because typically people just call it a kyber crystal. Now, I looked it up. I couldn't find anything about why he would have called it that. Like, nobody's really seen anything.
No, but it sounded like he had...
He said it with, like, a purpose.
Yeah, like, the way he was talking was he was familiar with these, or he'd seen them, or he'd dealt with them, or...
Well, I know that this was obviously something from a specific thing, like Luthen said, but...
That's why I'm saying, like,
but the fact that he called it a
a
sky kyber was just kind of weird. I see a lot of people saying that either this means that there's, like, another form of kyber crystals out there that we're gonna like start to discover
with Jedi's or something.
Well, people know what a kyber crystal is.
No, but I mean, like, maybe he has an association to one, or something.
No, but we don't know what a sky kyber is. No one's ever heard of this before. No one's ever looked at a kyber crystal and called it a sky kyber before. Is what I'm saying. Like, he called it by like that's like a...
Maybe they fell out of the sky for them. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm serious.
No, I know. I don't
know.
Because I know some people were saying that this was like kyber crystal and a stone, like it was a mix of a kyber crystal and stone or something. I saw people say. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why he called it a sky quiver. Quiver.
That's what you get for trying to pretend like nothing ever happened.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You had a moment there.
We're not putting this in.
Alrighty. How come all my bad moments get put in?
Fine, I'll put this part in, but I'm not putting...
Yes, I look crazy. I listened to another one today where I looked crazy.
Because where you put your crazy, you speak over...
And then Beverly Hills. Crazy.
No, pretend to be me. Just speak, say something. Say something.
Sky crystal.
No, you gotta talk a little bit because you gotta give me a second to interject there.
There isn't much of this, but I feel specific that equals
You're
a sky
exactly
crystal.
What I wrote.
Well, yeah, why not?
All right, read it. All right, fine.
Oh my God, what is a sky crystal? There isn't much on this.
Ooh, should we have lunch? Like, you interjected in a way that I can't cut it out.
But I didn't do that just now. Did I? No.
No, but you just told me about... No, you were asking why doesn't... Like, I just said I'm going to cut out the part where I just lost it for a second.
Yeah, she just lost it.
Yeah, okay.
My loss is, I understand she can't cut it out.
I can't say it.
Yeah, you could.
I want a milkshake. The way you just
really
do it.
do want a milkshake.
The way you do it is I can't cut it out, so it ends up staying in. And listen, your stuff is funny. No one wants to hear me be like, ugh, have a breakdown. Maybe. Let us know if you want to hear me have a breakdown. No, God.
See, there she goes. Sweat off her head like she's gonna fall off the chair too. I could see that coming. She's throwing her head back too far in laughter. And down she goes.
All right.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I think my head's out of the game this week.
Okay, well.
And I'm hoping I'll pull it back. Tomorrow.
I thought this was like an easier one to like navigate and figure out.
No,
everything.
I know. I don't know. I want a little like
Fist of Furies.
Pizzazz. Not pizzazz. Like, I think now people are gonna think I'm that person that's like, we need a cameo of it. So it's not. It's just it's a little slow for me. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
Let me see.
I think like each person that came on, aside from the Rebels, they had the most scenes, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think like what was his name? Sybil.
Karn. That's what I've been calling him.
He had like 2-3 lines, but he was done. Then they went to
it was a lot of jumping back and forth.
Or the IBS or whatever you want to call it.
The IBS, sure.
Then it was like 2 lines, boop, they were done.
Mon Mothma.
And then they went to, Mama. It was like
they just felt like they were putting them in there so it's not.
It almost felt like.
Don't whisper. They're not gonna hear us. But just because our neighbors are being horrible.
No,
I can't say that.
It almost felt like a half a scene.
Yeah, it just felt like it, like the reason I
instead
put
of
it
finishing in
because
the scene.
The way I just said, I clumped them all together because it would have just been like me talking about the Rebel story and just interjecting here and here. But I felt like it was better to clump it all up in one because clumping it all up in one felt like one fluid scene. Like
because 1 minute you were here and the next minute you're like, wait,
like
now
it was just
we're
like
back in
I
the
feel
fields.
like they did it for like the sake of feeling we're watching just like Andor all in one. Yeah, but that would have been fine. This is his show.
Yeah. I do feel like I hear it in the hallway.
Right? Don't you feel like you hear the kid crying out through the hallway and into our room? She should be right next to us.
That is weird.
See? I told you.
But maybe that's somebody else's kid. I don't know. I can't worry about that right now. Do you have any other questions?
No, those were all I could come up with. I said my head was out of the game. But there wasn't much. Like, the only other question I really thought of was about the Gart Tuffy guy that I was talking about, who he mentioned.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. Obviously, there was nothing to really find on him.
Eric for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're recording this before Eric put his breakdown up, which is always so much harder because I was like, Eric can always explain things a little bit clearer.
With
like
this chair, I could totally lay down on the ottoman.
See that? You see what you just snuck in there? No, don't lay down on the ottoman. No.
I want to see if it's comfortable.
See, that's the stuff I can't cut out because I was just talking about Eric.
I know. I'm
and you
sorry.
just snuck that in there. There was no, but your head's hanging off.
It's a sissy moment. Oh, I think I see why she likes this. Your head, the blood's rushing to your head. They say to do those. Oh, that's
your
a hit
face
of the
is
table.
all red.
They say to do those things where you hang upside down because it's good for the blood to rush to your head, and then you come back up. Of course, you don't stay there forever.
Well,
but
Sissy likes to stay there for a while.
Does. Yeah, she does. She takes like.
She's got a tiny head though. Big body, tiny head, so it might take a lot to get down there.
I could do this. It's
All right, can you come back up here?
It's stretching my neck too.
Are you gonna come back up here so we can finish this off?
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, well, you come back up here, redhead. Your head's completely red. Yeah, no, I'll try to get my head back in the game next week. I think maybe the heist will get me like more excited and pumped. It's just like I don't know, and it is really slow
because she thinks that's happening next week.
You don't think it's gonna happen?
No, now they gotta walk through the dam, the valley of the dam.
No,
Oh, come
my
on.
God, no.
Yeah, please. And then they're gonna interject with this IBS and
no, but this
Mon
is
Mothie.
This is episode 5, so next week would be season 6.
How many are left?
There's 12. So
they ain't getting to that heist anytime
no,
soon.
but I was thinking maybe they'll finish it off so that the second half of the season would be a different mission. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like maybe they want to wrap it all up here.
I don't know. Maybe someone will get captured, and that'll be the second mission. They'll have to come rescue them.
I don't know, and I really don't. I'm not trying to be negative about this show. I just think it's something that's not.
It's just so
and
funny
if you watch,
she was so down with it.
Because, but you know what I think's going on? If you watch our last podcast week episode, and I was talking about Kung Fu, and I said everybody on the show Kung Fu has their own storyline, like the person on the street just has it. That's what this feels like it's doing, and I don't like that. I don't.
And plus, I feel like it's multiple stories. Like, it's not even anything that goes together.
Like, I'm just curious how this Deidre in this is gonna tie in. Like, where is she gonna fit in? Where is she gonna fit in?
I think she's gonna fit in when she figures out what they're doing.
Like, do you think she's gonna team up with maybe Karn? Like, maybe they'll meet somewhere in the middle. Like she'll track. Maybe she'll realize that this person. Yeah, maybe she'll realize that the one star path. They'll start with the most recent one. Realize that came from Andor, and he'll be like going to meet Andor, and they're gonna team up.
Could be.
But still, like, I don't know. I don't know. And then like I really don't know. Quite simply, I don't know. Let's hope I get my head back in the game. My head hasn't been in the game all week, but that's a whole other thing. I'll try to get it back in the game for
poop
next
emoji.
Week. What?
I said you've been worried about a poop emoji.
Don't bring that up. No, but now people are gonna think I'm having poop issues. I'm not.
She's worried about our cat.
It's our cat. Ugh.
Doesn't it all revolve around the cats? Come on now.
I know, but you can't just throw the word poop out when it's just us two talking. People are gonna think I'm having my own IBS issues.
Oh well.
The Imperial Borough of
poop. A boop. I don't know.
I know.
It's late and I gotta go to bed. I swore I was gonna go to bed before 9:30, and here we are, still dishes to be washed.
All right, so that's all we have. We apologize if this one's a little bit like, well, I mean, I think the organization system was better, and I think this is what we'll keep up. Especially if Andor keeps up cutting the scenes like this, we'll keep it up like this.
Yeah, I think it just tightens it up, makes it nice and neat, nice and clean.
Yeah, because
easier to understand.
I don't like jumping around from the A plot to the B plot. It just it's like a little bit. It's confusing because then I feel like I'm like.
Oh, it's just like you're finishing telling that story, and then you tell the next one.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it unless like for example it started
but
interlinking.
Look, it's not like we feel like any of this stuff is running simultaneously. I'm sure it probably is, but it doesn't feel like it anyway.
No.
So
I do feel like each scene that they also showed felt like it could have been their whole own show. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it felt like it could have been like Mon Mothma starting the rebellion and having family issues.
Oh, and Mom and Kern and Mom look nothing alike.
Oh.
She looks like she's like a tiny little Spanish lady, and he looks like a whiter than white boy.
I think she's Italian.
Italian or something. She looks Spanish, Italian, something.
I don't know.
I don't know where he came from.
Well, because also Eric Voss said something about like the mom or the actress, I think, being like having a New York accent, which you hear it, but he doesn't have one.
No, it's very weird.
I don't. And also, what planet in the Star Wars universe do you come from with that accent? What planet is that like come to? Like, you know what I mean?
It's the eastern planet.
Northeastern.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then I have no clue. Okay. Oh, good gracious.
It's only 36, so shut it down. Say your goodbye. Say your goodbyes.
As we discovered last week, can't give us 4.5, so give us a 4 or 5. If you watch this episode, I can.
Yeah, because look, it could add up to a 4.5, and then she'll be happy. So if you give a 4 and they give a 5, it's a 4.5, and that'll make her happy.
That's
so
true,
just do
but
it.
you should be the person that gives us the 5.
I have given us a 5. But I don't see it reflected, so somebody else do it, please.
What was I gonna say? What was I just?
Because I do listen to it, and I judge on my own listening, and I think, like I said, missed a couple exits, missed a couple of phone calls, you know. I just was like, what is wrong with this lady today as I was listening? I'm like, she's got a lot of issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, give us either a 4 or a 5. I can understand if you're listening to this episode and you gave it a 4 based on this. I could understand because, like I said, my head's not in the game. Your head was so in the game. Look at you.
And I'm so tired.
There you go.
I just talked about sleep from the moment I woke up. Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I woke up talking.
You
about
woke
sleep.
me up talking about how you want to go back to sleep.
I can't.
Okay. So yeah, 4.5. If you're listening on YouTube, you can go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down though. Leave a comment telling us how we can improve instead.
And if you don't like one of our voices, well, that's an issue because that's not changing. So
I could try and do a British accent.
Oh, my lad, Lucky Charms.
What?
That's not British.
Lucky Charms.
That's Irish.
And maybe she's learning French, so maybe she could start speaking French for you guys.
Oui, oui.
Yep. learn how to say give us a 4 or a 5 in the star rating, okay? Come back to us next week with that. Our She-Hulk episode is also out if you're listening to this on Friday, the day we post this. And then tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to be posting the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale. And then on Mondays, we post a podcast talking about just the shows that we watch a week on our own. We also do a little news. We spin a little bit of a wheel to have a little bit fun. Ooh. Ooh. Yo.
Okay.
And I think that's all.
So, bonsoir. A bonne nuit. Hit the button.
Is that how you say hit the button?
No, that's how you say good night and see you later.
What if it's not night for them?
Bonjour. Mon ami.
Okay, figure out how you say hit the button.
I'm going to now. Not right now. I mean, like.
Alright, we'll just say it in English for now.
Hit the button.